Welcome back, you degenerates, to the only place where macro panic, dark pool voodoo, and option degeneracy get smashed in one quick market therapy session. It's May 30th of 2025, and today we've got tariff chaos, Nvidia drama, and ETF hedging that smells like a recession in a can. So buckle up. Let's dive into the madness of Wall Street and see what they don't want you to see. So, markets ended the month on a very weird flex. The S&P 500 just had one of its best months since 1990, up over 6.1%. And this is also the best monthly gain since November of 2023. The Dow Jones is up nearly 4%, quietly, by the way. Grandpa's still got moves out there, making moves in the retirement homes. The NASDAQ is nearly up 10%. Thank you, AI gods. That's all I got to say about that. But Friday was a little meh. That was a little bit of a letdown. The NASDAQ was down 0.3% after dropping over 1.6% intraday. The S&P 500 basically landed flat. The Dow is up 0.1% because someone probably fat-fingered a buy. Now, the headlines here, we have Trump tariff turmoils. The markets whispered as President Trump took to Truth Social to accuse China of violating their trade deal, just weeks after dialing down the tariff heat. Friday, Trump vows to crack down on Chinese tech targeting loopholes. The translation of this is the tariff saga is very much alive, but for now, Wall Street is betting the worst may be behind us. We also saw Nvidia dipping 3.5% on renewed China tensions, but still capped a massive month. Tesla gained over 20% in a May as Elon Musk preps to return full-time and leave the government. Even with chip restrictions and headlines about Elon's extracurriculars, let's call them, big tech didn't flinch at all. Now, we also had PCE. Core inflation, we already went over this in a longer video, but headline 0.1% month over month, 2.5% year over year, and that was very much in line with expectations. However, consumer sentiment stabilized after a brutal 4-month slide, which is a good thing as well. Investors interpret this as a green light, by the way, so that's why we saw a little bit of a run up through the day. Now, let's go ahead and move over to our favorite options flow software, Investor Central Club. And if you are interested in getting this live data for yourself, by the way, we're running a promo where if you use the code 130, you can get your first month for only $30. That's less than a bad options play that you take a day. So get on it. Anyways, QQQ absolutely dominated options today with over 227.6 million in flow. No, that is not a typo. And guess what? 220 million of that were in puts. Somebody's preparing for a tech apocalypse. Now, the biggest one was the 470 put due December 19th of 2025. That got them 120K contracts. Titanic sized hedge here. And then add 186 million in dark pool prints. That's a bear just growling in a suit at this point. SPY, we saw 52.74 million in flow, with 39 million of that being in puts. And the main thing that we saw were the 570 puts again and again. We saw 148 million dark pool block at the 599 cent level. Somebody's hedging like Powell's going to nuke the economy. Tesla, we saw 33.3 million inflow, 18.69 million in calls versus 14.6 million in puts. A fat $1.1 million bet, by the way, on let's go ahead and look at our big Tesla bet. Yep. So we had a big Tesla bet there as well. For the 460 call in September. Either we moon or someone's going to bag hold real hard. Nvidia, we also saw 21.3 million in options flow today. We saw 16 million into calls versus 130, and the $135 call that we highlighted earlier was one of the main hits. And we saw 217 million in the dark pool print at 141.15 as well. So that is another thing to be on the lookout for. For our unusual, we saw Mr. with 18.4 million in flow, mostly calls. We saw Palantir with 14.26 million, with the 117 call being hit 10 times. And we saw Unity with $6 million, all calls, baby. Now let's go ahead and digest some dark pool data. QQQ saw 186 million at the $518.13 spot, and 220 million in puts. Tech is getting shorted like it's 2008 all over again. SPY saw 148 million at the 599 spot. Institutions clearly don't trust this melt up. Nvidia, 217 million at the 141.15, echo of pre-earnings flow. We also saw TSM, a $425 million block as well, that led the pack. No options to match. Smart money maybe building a position, maybe accumulating before the headlines catch up. Now, we already went over our flow scanner, so that's all I got for you today, folks. Go ahead and feel free to tariffs, inflation, AI hype, meme stock seizures. This market's a circus at this point, and someone's shorting the 10. Drop a comment below. What's your take on this flow? Panic hedge or prepping for liftoff? Like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss the next options breakdown and daily news recap from Trades and Gains. Want the daily receipts though? Head over to Trades and Gains YouTube channel where I post videos every day and unlock the full daily report. I'm Ben the Bull, aka Max Pitts, signing off before the market does something even dumber. Have a great rest of your day.